Okay, our story of the week is the Demi Lovato situation. I know that she's a brilliant musician, but she also has problems. And when I read that she had a heroin overdose, and thank God some friends saved her, it was a very scary situation. So I'm going to have Rocco and Tim talk a lot more about Demi Lovato and the whole situation. So Rocco, why don't you take it away about
her career?
Her career and dealing with some of the demons that she's touched upon in her music.
It's incredible because a lot of why, besides her considerable talents as a vocalist and a songwriter, a lot of why Demi Lovato became so endeared by so many fans is the fact that she was very, very upfront and proactive in dealing with a lot of the troubles she had with her early success. She started out on Disney, and what she did is that when she was having her problems, her issues with her weight and her issues with drugs, she was very, very upfront, and she turned what could have been a very, very kind of, cliche embarrassment in show business to, having to deal with, issues with, abuses and things like that. She turned that into a net positive for her, and that really helped her become even bigger than she had, because I don't think she was that big at the time when, before she really, confronted the public about a lot of what she was going through at the time. And I think that endeared her with a lot of people, and that increased a lot of her of the popularity that she already had. And in terms of where her career had been going since, she definitely is somebody who many people consider an alternative in show business, because she doesn't have that type of perfect image that a lot of people, in show business, they try to come off like she's perfect. She's always been somebody who's been very, very honest with her fans, and I think that like I said, that's what endears her to a lot of people, and she has an image of a survivor, of somebody who, is relatable to a lot of people that like her music and like her personality in general. So and Tim over here is one of those people. So for you, Tim, what is it about Demi Lovato that makes you identify with her as a person as well as somebody in music?
Well, I mean, not only does she have one of the greatest voices out there, she can hit any note. Her music is just stunning. I find the survival story to be so inspiring. She got through it once, and when I went through, depression and anxiety and addictions, and I always felt like Demi was so forthcoming and so real about what she was going through that it made me think, oh wow, if she can do it, I can do it. And I feel like millions of her fans felt the same exact way. But there's no cure, unfortunately. And when you're in that dark place, you have moments of lightness and you think you're okay, and it lasts for years and years, but unfortunately, it's not a permanent fix. So if you or someone you know is suffering from addiction, you gotta speak up. Do not stay silent, because Demi's light is so bright. We don't want it to fizzle out right now, you know?
Absolutely, yeah.
And I have a connection with her because obviously I've loved her for years, and I love her music, and I did a whole concert of just cover songs of Demi Lovato cover songs, and she had heard about it and tweeted about it. So she's a kind person and giving to her fans, and
or a big boon to you as a fan, that she took notice.
I mean, me and everyone who was in the company, because I had lots of guest singers, we all were freaking out. It was amazing. It was amazing that she would take the time, to wish us luck. And that's just the way she is. I believe.
Very generous.
Very generous. And you know what? No matter what happened to her, she'll still be a role model, and she's gonna come out of this. I pray she does.
Yeah.
Because she's a beautiful soul and an amazing talent.
It's it's tough to elaborate on what you've said about her situation. It's very serious. I didn't even know that she was in the throes of heroin. Heroin is like the worst thing you can be addicted to. It's very, very powerful. You can get withdrawals from heroin, because there are plenty of people who, who try to stay clean and sober, and it's a very difficult thing because you get like these violent withdrawals from heroin, and it's a very, you could be off of drugs for years, and it can really pull you back. So I definitely have Howie. Yes, good example.
Yeah. One thing I'd like you to both touch on is that, we've touched on drug abuse a lot on this show.
Yes.
And even though I'm not an expert,
right.
I'd like to get both your opinion on this. Is that
Thank you.
I feel that even though she's a brilliant talent,
yeah,
that at this stage of her life, forget about her career, she has to totally focus on recovery, on getting help, and put her career on the back burner. Yeah. Let's talk about that aspect. First, Rocco, and then
Thank
Tim.
you. No, you're totally right, Howie, because her career had been going full steam up to this point. She had already just recorded a single, kind of almost prophetically touching on the fact that she kind of relapsed, and she had been in the middle of doing a tour, and there was it's funny because I went down to a 7-Eleven just yesterday, and there was a contest for people to go get a chance to see her perform. And then I also heard that she was doing she had done a documentary to promote her album, and then she was having another documentary to touch on because a big part of her career in entertainment is she's always been very, very honest with her fans. That's what endears her as a social media personality. So, as Howie was alluding to, it's very, very important that she kind of puts her own personal life first in terms of getting well, and because like I've said, heroin's a very, very powerful thing to get off of, and I think it's in her own best interest to as somebody who's been being so generous to her fans and all that. I think that the time has to be now to put her own personal situation first for the sake of not only her fans but for herself particularly.
Yeah, it's so weird to be listening to that song sober, and to watch that documentary, and you think it's okay, but I just seen her in concert recently for the second time, and as fans, we have to not be selfish.
Yes.
We have to realize that the time is not for new music now.
Yeah.
The time is not for her to tour. The time is for her to take time for herself and to get better, and we all have to respect that. That's the only, she has to take the time for herself. Yeah. And she'll probably write some great songs as she's doing it, but she has to take the time to heal.
Absolutely.
No more relapses.
Yeah.
Tim, Rocco, thank you so much for sharing, and we all pray for a healthy recovery for you.
Absolutely. Yes.